What's up, you guys? So I'm here with a new video today, and I'm here to I was going to do Into the Mind of a Yu-Gi-Oh player the next video. I am going to do that, but the idea kind of crossed into my head because I was getting some messages from people on Facebook, and they're asking me, Slim, what did this ban list really accomplish? And it made me think, maybe I should make a video on this. Because I was thinking about it myself, what did this ban list accomplish? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to leave it into a real discussion video. More than my own opinion, I would like to hear your guys' opinion because that would, give me a more general idea of what's going on rather than, just giving the few things that I've discovered already in this format. We're a couple days from the format actually starting, but if you're like me, the minute you know the list, you make the changes to your deck immediately. Like you guys saw my Satellar Knight deck profile, I made the changes instantly. Cutting one soul charge, switching a Rhoda, literally the easiest thing in the world. Like there was no thought process into that. Opting not to play Raigeki in the main deck, a lot of things. I'm still going back and forth between that, believe it or not. I think it's just for the nostalgia to play Raigeki, but at the same time, when all monsters trigger, it doesn't seem that optimal. So I'm debating if it's worth playing Raigeki. I mean, I know there are games that it's gonna flat out win me the game, so I'm gonna see if that card ends up making it in my main deck. But for now, it's in the side deck for sure, along with Dark Hole, believe it or not. I'm citing both forms of destruction. I figure for games 2 and 3, having optimal destruction can work out in your favor, especially if you play against rogue decks. So, but yeah, so what did this ban list really accomplish? Let's start with the basics. They didn't ban anything, so they didn't take anything away from us. So that accomplished nothing. They killed no deck by banning something. People thought they were going to ban Soul Charge. They didn't do it. They thought they could ban Vanity's Emptiness. They didn't do it. So they didn't really take anything away from us. But when it comes to the cards that were limited, they limited Soul Charge to 1. They limited Super Poly to 1. That and Infernity Archfiend to 1. That was huge because you know Infernities need Archfiend. They need Archfiend, and people are going to argue that they'll still find a way to do it with one Archfiend. I mean, I'm not going to say anything because crazier things have happened, but let's face it, one Archfiend makes the deck almost unplayable because that's your main monster, that's your go-to monster. Like, you get away playing 2 Necromancer, but now in order to do it, you got to have like Dinotherium and one of the 4s, and then I guess you could Lavolval chain it to the top of the deck or into the graveyard to have the Necromancer play. So I wouldn't say the deck's completely done. You could play Call of the Haunted. I think people would opt to do that now that Soul Charge is at 1, so that could be something I could see easily happening because I fully believe with Soul Charge at 1, Call of the Haunted spike in play is going to go up. I think a lot of decks can benefit from Call of the Haunted. My deck absolutely just loves Call of the Haunted, Satellar Knights. I think Call of the Haunted's amazing, so I said it in my profile. I think that card could have gotten limited, but it didn't. So 3 Call of the Haunteds. Putting Soul Charge to 1. Now, there is this thing that's been going around on Facebook and everywhere that Soul Charge is healthier at 3 than at 1. A lot of people don't understand what that means, and I'm trying to understand what that means. I guess that statement basically means that at 3, everyone has access to it. It's a fair card in the sense that no one is going to be outmatched by their opponent having Soul Charge because you have access to Soul Charge as well. I guess in that sense that makes sense because everyone has equal access to 3 copies of the same card. You're either going to draw it or you're not going to draw it, so it all depends completely on what's going on. Another thing is that at 1, it's a sack card. Let's face it. Some people are probably going to play Gold Sark in their deck to search it out, which is completely respectable. I mean, it is the best card. It's like Future Fusion was. In Dragon decks, Soul Charge is just insane. In most decks, Soul Charge is insane. But I feel that the card at 1, I mean, honestly, they could have gotten rid of it. It would not have really made a huge difference. I think the ability to play your decks without Soul Charge is awesome because before, like, we all did it. We all played before that card came out. And when that card came out, we just got kind of spoiled because it was like, all right, we have a return from the different dimension that we can use, and just pay life points. And a lot of people don't realize, but life points don't matter until they get to 0. You could have 1 life point left, but if you're still able to establish a board your opponent can't get past, you're going to win. So Soul Charge, they did it because people, they put it at 1. So now it's if you have it, you have it, and that's a very hard thing for people to understand. That when your opponent has the cards and you do not, they're going to win for that reason. Skill isn't involved if they have the cards and you don't have optimal outs to them, or vice versa. You have the cards and they have all the outs to them. So it comes down to luck, a little bit of skill, but a lot of times mostly luck. And Super Poly was Super Poly at 1. Like I said, I felt bad for hero players because the heroes have not gotten a chance to shine in a long time. But Shadolls, unfortunately, just they really, they abuse that card. They ruin Satellar Knight boards. They ruin Burning Abyss boards. They just super poly everything, and it's crazy. So I guess in a sense, what they try to do is slow down the Shaddoll deck from having so many outs. I mean, they have Shaddoll Fusion. They get that card back, recycle it back like it's nothing. So I truly believe that Shadolls are still going to be fine with Soul Charge at 1. I really do. I don't think they're going to suffer too much. I guess Soul Charge at 1 and Super Poly at 1, like they did hinder the deck, but not to the point of not running it. So we'll see what happens there. As for like cards that um, came to 3s, I don't even have the list on me. I should have probably grabbed the list, but looking at it, they put Wolf Barks at 3. A lot of people are hopping on Fire Fist, saying that Fire Fist is going to be the deck to run, and I can't really guarantee that it's going to be, but I don't think it will be. I do like Fire Kings a lot. I'll be doing a Fire King deck profile soon. I really like that deck, you guys. I like it because I love the big chicken. I don't care if it's not that good against Winda, because you can't destroy it with the effect, but you can destroy it by battle. I'm just saying, like, you can just destroy it by battle. Who cares if you can't blow the stupid thing up? You can just run it over by battle, so that's something to think about. And it can blow up constructs, so that is, another optimal play. And you can make double Dweller in that deck really easily, plus you do have 1 Rekindling, you do have 1 Soul Charge, you can play Call of the Haunted. I'm telling you guys, like, I really like that deck. That's not going to be a tier 1 deck, obviously, but that's going to definitely be a deck you're going to see me profile here. I'm going to be doing a lot more profiles, you guys, now that I have access to more stuff. Another thing, I'm also thinking of opening an eBay store, like Slim X Team Symmetry cards or something like that. I'm going to keep you guys posted on that. I'm working on that right now. If that ends up being, if that comes to fruition, I'm going to buy a lot more product. You're going to see a lot more openings here. And all the cards that I pull will be available for sale. I'm going to give you guys, like, stupid prices because I don't like ever charging full price for cards. I think that's ridiculous when, if you want fair competition, your opponent should have access to the same cards as you do. So you're going to see probably some stupid prices from me, and, don't be fooled, they are real. And I'll also be including things like bonuses, like if you buy X amount of, if you spend X amount of money, I don't know, like I was gonna make like tokens or include extra cards or have uploads on my channel or just something. I don't really know how to go with this, so I gotta talk to a couple people. But that's just a little thought. Sorry to like kind of deer off from the video, but yeah, like they put Wolf Barked at 3. Magician of Faith meant nothing. Rhoda at 3 just makes our Satellar Knights insane. It makes Noble Knights a lot more consistent. It makes a lot more decks consistent that run Warriors. But I think like the main focus of this list is, when they brought back Glow Up Bulb. Glow Up Bulb and Raigeki, bringing those cards back to 1, that was the main focus of this entire list. And Soul Charge and Super Poly. Those 4 cards were the cards that everyone was talking about. By bringing back Glow Up Bulb, if you guys watch Joji Orlando's channel, I'm going to have a link to it below. You guys have to see this. He has all these Glow Up Bulb like OTKs and combos that come from just that one card. So that's something you guys definitely want to watch. Glow Up Bulb back at 1 is absolutely insane. The card does so much, you guys. The plant engine is almost back at full. Had 3 Tengus happen, we would have seen Tour Guide Tengu plants again, and that would have been awesome because that was a great format. But I want you guys to really think and watch his videos of why Glow Bulb is so powerful. Because Glow Bulb is going to do a lot. Lightsworn, I think you guys saw my status. So some random messaged me on Facebook saying that Lightsworn was dead, shelf the deck. I was never going to play it because, I played it when I got back just to learn basic Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. And the deck did terrible. Like, even though I did well with it, it still did terrible. And the deck's going to do even worse now because without Soul Charge, you don't have those optimal ways to get your mills back. So that's not even going to happen. But I asked him to play on DN. He denied. He said no. And I was like, all right, never mind. So, but yeah, Glow Bulb is really going to shine in that deck. It's going to shine in a lot of decks. So we're going to see what happens with Glow Bulb. Sylvans are going to take advantage of it. A lot of decks are going to take advantage of it. So we'll see how amazing it is to have Glow Bulb back in the game. And as for Raigeki, well, I've already said it. Too many floaters. I feel that maybe it's just not the best card right now, but it is a good side deck card. Definitely a good side deck card. So I'm going to see what happens with that. If it does make it to my main deck, I'll let you guys know. But between that and Dark Hole in the side deck, I do like my destruction options. It gives me 2 slots in my side deck to pure destruction. That is not for just one deck, but for every deck, depending on what I play. So it gives me optimal outs against things. Because I have noticed when playing against Burning Abyss, when I did draw the Raigeki game 2, I held it till the Monarchs were on board, or I held it to where I looked at what was attached to Dante and stuff, and if they could only add monsters back to their hand, I knew I was going to win. That was one thing, is that if they got to special summon the monsters, that could be a problem, but if they got to add them back to their hand, if they don't have Gores or anything, I'm just going to attack them for games. So that was something I noticed early on about Raigeki and Dark Hole, especially Raigeki, because I don't want to blow up my own board. So being able to blow up their board, their Monarchs, their Dantes, and just make sure that they're only adding the Burning Abyss monsters back to their hand, I know then and there that I can win if I can put enough damage on board. So I did discover that about that card. So the card's not as linear as I originally thought. But yeah, those are just my thoughts, you guys. I feel that the list did accomplish a couple things. It did slow down, I guess, like the ridiculousness of Soul Charge. It did hinder the the possible comebacks from super polymerization. It did in a way just unload an entire craziness with the Glow Up Bulb. Raigeki back at one created a lot of hype for people to use it, but I think people are going to see as they play the card it may not be the best option. It's still going to be a good card, don't get me wrong. Raigeki will always be one of the best spells in the game, but for now we'll see what happens. But those are just my thoughts. I want to leave this more to you guys. I already spoke for almost 11 minutes. That's crazy. But I hope you guys will give me some good feedback. What do you guys think this list really accomplished? What decks do you think will really, which decks benefited the most from this list besides Tower Knights having 3 Rhoda? We know that. What decks benefited, and how would you run decks this format? What decks do you feel will really shine this format? Just let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. I'm going to record for you guys the next Into the Mind of a Yu-Gi-Oh player, and I'll be having some more deck profiles coming soon. So I hope you guys enjoy the more frequent content. I know it's been a while, but just trying to come back. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Thumbs it up. Thank you for watching.